Hey everybody, it's me Edward, back with another video. As you saw in the previous video, I just surprised my grandparents with a new purchase I made. It's a truck. They've been wanting me to buy a truck for a number of years. I haven't been able to because I haven't had the money. But so right now I think it's August 30th, July 30th. I went to Orangeburg. A friend of mine gave me a ride, and saw the truck, checked it out, paid it straight up in cash, and drove back to Columbia. Here I am in Manning, South Carolina, where my grandparents live, and I'm gonna show you the truck. And this is it. As I said in the video before, it's a 1986 Chevy K20. It means the K means 4-wheel drive. 20 means 3/4 tons, and it has two 3/4 ton axles. And you can see that little emblem right there. It's an oil burner. It's diesel. It has dual headlights. See, I had to do some work on the truck when I got it. I replaced this headlight right here. Do a little walk around. Yeah, they were really happy when I got this. And I showed it to them. You noticed in the previous video, the Silverado. Some of the big tires it has. You see those hubs? Those are locking hubs. Before I bought the truck, they were telling me that if I ever get stuck in the mud, which this truck can be driven in the mud, I can lock those hubs up and pull myself out of the mud in 4-wheel drive. Then once I'm out of the mud, just unlock the hubs and go on my way. Some gloves from what I was working on. This is where the truck came from originally. Manchester, New Hampshire. There's my job sticker on the right there. That's where I work. It's one of my jobs. Chevrolet. It has dual exhaust. Some damage. I guess someone hit this truck, and I had to pull this dent out. It was caved in a lot more than it is right now. I also had trim, which I removed the trim. Look over here. Some more damage. I was happy I was able to fix some of the stuff that was wrong with this truck. Like this wasn't working. I wasn't able to use the key on this side, but after I popped this dent out, I was able to get the key to work. Take a look on the inside of the truck. This truck had power windows, but the power windows malfunctioned. They were malfunctioning when I got them, when I got the truck. So what I did was I snatched them out. Well, I shouldn't really say I snatched them out. It wasn't as simple as snatching them out. I had to disassemble the motor while I was inside the door, and I put hand cranks in. You see the window goes up and down. I did the same thing for the driver's side too. Let's see. Another thing, I had to get some parts for the truck. See, it's inside right now. I had to get these sun visors. I got these from. I went to a place called Pull Apart. That's in the Columbia to get some parts for this truck. I had to relocate the dash light. I had to work on the dome light. One of the things that threw me through a loop, I found out the day before I got the truck. Cause I got the truck. It was an ad on Craigslist. I was looking at the pictures. I said, you know what? I see 3 pedals on the floor. And as I called the guy back up, and I said, "Hey, is this thing is it an automatic or a manual?" And I remember in the description it said 4-speed. It says it has a 4-speed transmission. I thought that meant like 4, like in an automatic transmission. But no, he said you have 4 on the floor. You have 3 gears, a reverse, and the granny gear, which is the one low. You see right there that L? That's for when you're towing something. Also, because this truck was used for towing trailers. As you see right there, it's got a gooseneck hitch in the back. Right now the hitch is stuck. I gotta figure out how to get it unstuck. Not that I plan on using it, but I figured if it's there, it ought to work properly. Some rust. I plan on trying to get as much rust out of the bed of this truck as I can, and spraying it down with some red spray paint. Nothing fancy, and maybe someday getting a rhino liner. the bed of this truck. That was a cooler of water I brought with me on the trip to Manning to surprise my grandparents. I didn't know if I was gonna get stuck on the road. Not that I had any question about how well the truck would run, but if I ever get stuck, at least I have water. Let's see some more stuff. You see no radio. The radio was in there. It had a CD player, but the screen for the CD player was gone. So I guess when the guy sold the truck, he probably kept that accessory and left me with a busted CD player. So I yanked that out. I'm actually gonna put a stock radio inside it because I don't have many CDs that I would want to play in this truck when I drive it, and I don't have an iPod. I don't have an MP3. So I just go to a regular stock radio. I had to replace the fuel gauge. I'll show you right there. It's a diesel. I had to replace the fuel gauge because the one that was original with the truck, it was reading incorrectly. It was actually bouncing around like crazy. Let's see. Clock works. I think the clock is off. I'll fix that soon enough. The AC works real well. I'm happy to have heating and air conditioning in this truck. Dash is cracked in several places, but that's no problem. This is my King James Study Bible. I brought that along on the trip. But yeah, that's it. I mean, so far that's the truck. If you notice right here, this cushion doesn't belong. It's because the original cushion was so worn out that anytime I climbed inside the truck, I was sitting canted. I was canted to the left. So what I did was I cut the original cushion out, and I found this futon cushion on the side right outside my place. Someone was tossing it out. I was around 1 in the morning. I cut the original seat out and cut this one up and put this one down, and it's a lot more comfortable ride. One thing I was planning on doing, I thought I was gonna have to replace the entire seat, the entire bench seat, but that's not the case. I mean, this seat is still pretty good, so I'm just gonna get a whole new seat cover. I found a bunch of stuff in this truck when I first got it. I found 3 shotgun shells, a pack of Marlboros. That only had 2 cigarettes inside of it. I found a ketchup packet that was dated 1986. It's strange, man. It's all kinds of stuff. But the truck runs nice. I guess I'm still having the time to. I was able to drive from Columbia to Manning, and before that from Orangeburg to Columbia, using manual. But I haven't driven the manual. I've only driven the manual once before I got this truck, so I had to relearn everything. Also, right here, the 4-wheel drive shifting. You see, I think it's dirty. See, it's 2 high, 4 high, neutral, and 4 low. I guess the 4 low is when I'm stuck into the mud. I also had to replace one of the door jamb switches. At first, the switch wouldn't work because, both switches were actually rusted pretty bad, so I had to snatch both of them out. O'Reilly's Auto Parts only had the one for the passenger side. I had to order the driver's side one on Amazon. Another thing I gotta show you that has to be fixed with this truck. Let's see, my bright. There's no click. This is busted. Now the windshield wipers, I have to keep unplugged if it's not raining, because if I plug them in while the truck is running, they'll do one swipe, then 10 seconds will go by, then they'll do it again. And I decided, I don't want to damage the wipers, from it operating on dry glass. So I figured I just disconnect it. If it starts raining, I pull it to the side of the road, reconnect them, and start going. My high beams are stuck because this wasn't one to click back, so I may have to pull my steering wheel off and fix this column shifting column right here. But if you have any ideas on how to, any tips for this truck, like I said, this is my first vehicle. Never bought one before. I paid $1,500 before I made all the repairs, of course. But it was $1,500. They told me I was just paying for you're paying for the power, essentially. Oh yeah, there's a hole right here in the floor, which is not a problem. A friend of mine at work, we plan on doing is getting a small piece of sheet metal, and we're gonna cut away all the rust, and then weld the sheet metal down. And what I also want to do is I'm gonna pull up all this carpet All this carpet's gonna be gone. Spray it down with like some rubber floor liner, and then drill a hole right in the middle